fans, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rise. We're back here at Jacobs Mitsubishi in Wesley Chapel. And guess what? I have that large and in charge luxury SUV from that iconic Japanese brand. What am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is that redesigned 2025 Infiniti QX80. This, though, is a Sensory trim QX80. But before we get into this full-size, full-on new look and new technology SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Infiniti, the premium brand of Nissan, it's been around since 1989, and this is their largest SUV that they sell currently in the United States. This is not a crossover. It sits on the same frame as the Nissan Titan truck and also the Nissan Armada. Now, for 2025, they did a full redesign, new power underneath the hood, and a new trim layout. So I always like to try to bring as many trims as I can. We already brought you the top autograph trim. But what happens if you don't want to go full autograph, but you want to get close? That's where the Sensory trim comes into. So it basically goes like this. There's 4 trims: Pure, Luxe, Sensory, Autograph. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is why I like bringing you these reviews. But what I want to do is I want to find out, do you go with something like this QX80 or do you go with the Lexus LX600? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this redesigned QX80 and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, I'm digging the color. It seems like every other QX80 that I have seen has been that metallic gray color finish, and that's been good, but it's nice to see them in a different shade of a color, especially this nice metallic ruby red. Now, the front of the business, you're gonna have new lighting, LED, piano key style, daytime running lamps and turn signals. And then I like the way they kind of flare out the corner here, because that's where you're gonna have your LED headlights and massive corner air curtains. Continuing our way down, you do have some fake vent down here, which is a zonk. That should be LED lighting, even on a Sensory trim. I know this isn't the top autograph trim, but that should be some fog lamps in there. I do like that almost like a metallic silver finish on the lower lip. But let me know what you think of the face so far of this QX80 Sensory trim. Now, as we come across that iconic badge from Infiniti, you'll notice that they updated it. They actually made it look and appear 3D in shape, how it's going into the actual badge itself. You have forward-facing camera. And then this is supposed to simulate a bridge. You have your bridge across the top, and this is the water underneath it. Interesting take. I do like the way they bring that aluminum finish to the top and all the way around the lower edge, so it fits almost the whole perimeter. And then working our way down, you do have flat black in the center. You'll notice large intercoolers from behind, because we do have twin turbocharged power. And then you have that metallic silver along the lower lip. Another thing that's great is that we have adaptive air ride suspension. You could raise and lower this all by the press of a button. It is sitting in the lowest setting. But let me know what you think of the face of this luxury SUV with 4x4. Now, as we rise back up, I like the slight bend to the hood. Everything matches up nicely with the fit and finish and the gaps. Clean body lines. And then as we come around the bend, what do we work with? Wheel and tire setup. So on the Sensory trim, you're still getting a big wheel, 22-inch wheel, metallic silver with the machined aluminum, multi-spoke wheel design. Tires are going to be 275 on the width, all 4 corners. You have adaptive air ride suspension and 4x4. So that means you have a 2-speed transfer case, differential up front, and a differential out back. Of course, it's rear-wheel drive biased, but power gets sent to the front wheels. Digging the clean style to the wheel, and I like the way there's no flat black at all. Coming down the side, you do have functional fender vents, like the way they're bringing that aluminum trim in there with the black. Power folding mirrors. Of course, we have the doors locked to show them in their folded position. Some gloss black, some body color, but you have 360-degree cameras. Bright silver roof rails. You could get your crossbars up there. And then silver trim only along the bottom. I think that's important. If you put silver around every opening, it makes this SUV look even heavier than what it already does. Another thing that helps with perspective is by painting this gloss black. Flush mounted door handles, first time on a QX80, and then we have our stationary running boards. I've always liked the stationary running boards. I think it has always given the Infiniti and the LX600, both of them have stationary running boards, gives them that very unique look compared to an American full-size SUV like a Tahoe or an Expedition. Working our way towards the rear, great size on the quarter glass. You can see how the trim kind of flares out and it wraps all the way around the back. You got a long roof spoiler, body color, hiding the wiper, baby. See what you do when you put the wiper underneath there? Cleans it up. Love the way they did the LED lighting all the way across like piano keys. Even the way, look at this is actually concave in the lighting, all LED. Infiniti name now spelled out. It's not with a Y, that's with an I. And then there's your QX80 with the 4-wheel drive. Working our way down to ground level, no exposed exhaust. I like the way that they did the lower bumper area. Doesn't look like a fake vent or a fake exhaust, but it's stylish. And there is a cover that hides your towing. And wait until you hear about the numbers. Since we're at that point, let me know what you think about the look of this thing. We're gonna pop the hood and talk about the power. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Gone is the naturally aspirated V8. In its place is a twin turbo V6. The good news is you got more power. 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 450 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to a new 9-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 5.9 seconds. Top speed is governed to 123 miles per hour. MPGs, 16 in the city, 19 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 6,491 pounds, but you could tow up to 8,500 pounds with this vehicle. So you're getting the towing capability, you're getting more horsepower, and you're getting a lot of luxury. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it move. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Infiniti QX80, this one being the Sensory trim. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I'm so glad that you do these other trims because I don't want an autograph trim. I do like this Sensory trim. What's the asking price? So this one, the asking price is $85,795. Not chump change, but remember, a brand new autograph is about $107,000. So quite a difference there. But let's see what you get when you go one trim lower to the door panels. I do like the fact that you're still getting all the great same material. The soft touch black, white contrast stitching, that open pore wood, and the Klipsch premium sound system, 24 speakers in this thing. You do have gloss black around the switchgear. I do have to zonk that because you're going to get more fingerprints than an FBI fingerprint test. But I like the aluminum speaker grill cover, 2 memory settings for the passenger seat, and then a decent sized door pocket. You can get a large, I would say 49-ounce soda and probably 2 chili dogs in there from Checkers. Now going from the door panel to the dash, you got the Infiniti name that illuminates at night, the soft touch material. Look at this heavy duty Twinkie cargo net. Talk about being able to hang your Twinkie somewhere. Soft touch, slide on in. You're not getting 12-inch screens, you're getting 2 14-inch screens. Infotainment, digital gauge cluster. It's all touchscreen. There are some other ways around it, which I'll show you in a second. This is your home screen. Steven was listening to freaking Justin Bieber again. I told him not to do that. Get off of the Justin Bieber, please. Steven, stop listening to that. You do have a built-in dash cam. Love that. Look at that, there's somebody peeping and creeping on us. That's why dash cams are very good to use. But I love the way it's already pre-wired for the vehicle. It's already in. And then you have all your other different icons and apps, Amazon Alexa, all those goodies. And then, of course, you want to go home? BT phone home. We're right back where we started. I'm going to throw it in reverse. Camera quality, clear as day. The trajectory, the 360, you could go wide angle. You can bring it back to 360 with making sure you don't curb those 22-inch wheels. Really nice to have that. And then to go out the front, boom, panoramic, baby. Sit and spin with your 360. Love the way they have all that quality camera footage. And then to get out of it, you just hit the back arrow. Boom. Now working your way down, you got your start-stop button, a real volume knob. Up here, you can control certain things on the screen. Down here on this 9-inch display, this is where you have your dual climate. Gives you a little haptic kick. Heated seats, 3 stages, and 3 stages of ventilated seats. So you're gonna have both of those. You could even adjust the rear. And then we're right back where we started. You do have a push button transmission, and it is in gloss black. So that is a zonk, but it does operate the 10-speed automatic. This is where you could raise and lower your Infiniti with the air ride suspension. You do have a little bit of a cubby down below for your Louis Vuitton purse. Maybe you got a Kate Spade bag or something. I know Steven bought one of his lady friends once a Kate Spade bag. She loved it. And then he loved what followed after that. The material is nice and soft. Open up the door. Got enough room for an iPhone 47, 2 USB-Cs. You got your cup holder. Here is your Infiniti key fob. I do have to admit, it looks like a coffin. Doesn't that look like a coffin? Are they trying to tell you something? Looks like a little coffin. I remember back in Halloween, probably one of my favorite things to get in my candy bag were those little plastic coffins, and then you open it up and it had like the little bones to the skeleton, and then you could lay them out on a table and connect them to one another, and then you could eat them. I like candy like that. Press the button. You do have your felt line. This is where you could put your jewels and your beads and pearl necklace. You know, if you give somebody a pearl necklace, they could put it here. And then you have enough room in there where you could put that Swarovski crystal bedazzled hat that your best friend bought you for $575. Until you found out it was a Temu knockoff of a $2,000 hat. Seats, the premium speakers and the headrest, the leather, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. I wish that it had a dark headliner. I'm not a big fan of the light headliner, so I am going to zonk that, but you do have your power shade and that panoramic sunroof, plus you have a digital rearview mirror. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the new wheel in this new Infiniti. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. Love the aluminum sill plate. You got the LED lighting with the Infiniti name. All the seat controls, easy to get to, including massage seats for both the driver and the passenger. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room. I actually love the steering wheel. The single spoke design really works because they put the leather on the horn button, the stitching. Look at all the great stitching. Thumb controls. If you're wondering what is that for, it's to measure your eye movement, because this does have the hands-free Pro Pilot driving assist. You do have plastic paddles to go up and down that 9-speed automatic, and it is a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And just like the other side, you have that, of course, 14.3-inch infotainment system screen and the digital gauge cluster. Nice to see that great screen quality, and then you could scroll through a cornucopia of information, including the height. And then on top of that, you do have a head-up display. But let's get into the mid-row and the third row and see how much room there is in this new QX80. All right, guys, mid-row time, and what I like about this trim is that we don't have captain's chairs. We actually have a bench seat, so you get to see what the Infiniti QX80 looks like with that bench seat. They did a great job on the leather. Now, of course, it is sliding and it is reclining, so that's a good sign. You do have large pockets here. This is where you could put your bags of Skittles, Twizzlers, whatever movie snacks you have, and then you got a hell of a command center here. Heated seats, ventilated seats, thank you Infiniti. You got your AC controls, USB-Cs, and a 12-volt. And then, like I said, the seats just feel fantastic. Pull this bad boy down. Wow, look at that armrest. 2 cup holders. Feels good. But let's get to the third row and see if it's usable in this QX80. All right, guys, you're going to be amazed. Some people might think there's nothing to see. or nothing to care about back here, but there's actually plenty. This third row feels good. I got great AC vents. Watch this though. Power tilting rear seat. That just makes it even more comfortable. Good size quarter glass, and there's USB-Cs on both sides and 2 big cup holders. This is how you do a third row. But let's go ahead, let's get in the cargo area because I want to see what you could stuff in this QX80. All right, guys, cargo area time. What I do like is they hide the button to open up the rear lift gate nicely within the trim. If you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know. Hit the button, nice electric assist. Now what I did was I left the third row up to give you a clear indication of how much room that you have. How much room do you have? 22 cubic feet of space. We're gonna fold down this third row. And the way that we're gonna do it is we're gonna hit these buttons here. First of all, look at this. I could actually lower and raise the rear of the vehicle through the air ride suspension. We're gonna hit these buttons, look at this. Yes, everything is folding down, I love it. So what I did was, by folding down the third row, that gives us 57 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row like I did, that gives us over 100 cubic feet of space. Steven is gonna sleep in this vehicle here tonight because we're filming here tomorrow. So he's gonna take one for the team and sleep here. You do have, like I showed you, the USB-Cs in the back and the seat controls up there. And on the driver's side, we do have not a 12 volt, but a home power source. Nice to see that. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go take this QX80 for a spin and see if it's better than the LX600. All right, guys, we're leaving Jacobs Mitsubishi. We're inside this 2025 Infiniti QX80 being the Sensory trim. I really like this full-size SUV a lot, and I definitely like it more than the Lexus LX600. It just has more space. I like the way it rides better, and that twin-turbo V6 has plenty of get up and go. Getting to the 14-inch infotainment system well within reach, and once you figure out where everything is located with the AC controls and the seat controls, it's very easy to figure it out and define exactly what you need. But the big find in all of this, the discovery, is just how nice this rides and drives. Not a lot of road noise, no wind noise. They really upped the ante on the chassis, on the sound deadening material, the laminated glass, the acoustic windshield, and with that premium sound system, I wish I could let you hear it, but it sounds fan-freaking-tastic. Good visibility out the windshield. And like I said, for a full-size SUV, it handles really, really well. On throttle, here we go. So you have that 10-speed automatic, excuse me, 9-speed automatic, 10-speed in an LX, 9-speed in this Infiniti QX80. Works really well through the gears, and nice to have that addition. And then of course on top of it, we have our 4x4 accessibility. Right now I have it in auto, but you can adjust the 4x4 system in here, and it's just very easy to drive. Even though it's a full-size SUV, I like the curves of the hood. It gives you good visual reference points. Dash is easy to see. There's no glare on any of it, which I don't know how they do it, but they did it. And really good steering feel and just overall driving dynamics. I feel like a lot of people are gonna sleep on this Infiniti QX80. Maybe because they just haven't been in one in a while, and they have upped the ante with this vehicle. Suspension feels great. Seats are fantastic. I'm getting a freaking massage right now. And just everything else well sorted and well put together here. I'm gonna go on throttle from a dead stop. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. You're not waiting for the boost to come in. It accelerates very nicely. And it has a lot to do with the twin turbo V6. Having the two smaller turbos, you're not waiting for the boost. And that allows you to have that more linear torque delivery. But having all the information you need that you could scroll through on the dash. Brakes feel good. And it's just nice to see what this QX80 brings on a different trim level. This one, like I said, being the Sensory trim. But it just sounds really great in here. You're not getting a bunch of pumped in sound, just a little bit. It's just super smooth. And I'm digging the design. I'm really liking the direction that they went in with their Japanese tank. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this Infiniti QX80. We're gonna get back to Jacobs Mitsubishi and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Jacobs Mitsubishi in Wesley Chapel. Definitely gotta thank the whole crew here, Ben, Jay, Richie, Kevin, Daniel, getting us access to this 2025 Sensory trim of the QX80. Let me know what you think for the price. Does this bring enough? Or do you think you have to go all the way to autograph? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. We're on our 10th car we're filming today, and he still doesn't want to stop. So thank you, Stephen, for being the Energizer Bunny, just like all the girls say. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.